Okay, we've got a bit of a special in between these Zwift games. So I'm thinking I felt pretty good. I had a ride yesterday, the Herd Winter Series. I'm waiting, eagerly anticipating the Zwift Games Stage 3 starting tomorrow. So, in the interim, whether this is a foolish mistake, I'm thinking, right, 2026, let's crack on and do another FTP test. Look it in front of me, you've got the grade, half of it straight up. It's split into 10 sections. You'll see the sections on the road if you haven't done this. There was a little warm up, about 1.5 miles, hence, if you look top right graphic, obviously that wasn't the starting point. You can start at the base of the mountain on O'Hill no, I think it's called, the route, but I liked a little warm up. I've had 3.5 miles, 12 minutes warm up previously as well. So, right, my record previous, look at it, top 90-day personal, kind of a personal best, 14 minutes 46. That got me to my 272 watts at the same weight I'm at now, and I was averaging 300 watts. I think that was the total. So there you go, line marker 2, already up to number 2. Half of it is straight up the grade here, which gets to around, just under 10%, I think. And then you have a flat section, a tiny flat section, probably 200, 300 yards. And then you've got the final climb, which does get a bit steeper towards the end from segment 6 to segment 10. As you can see, it's going to be around 14 to 15 minutes typically. I'm going for a record here. Average is bang on right in the middle there, 331 watts average. I love this FTP test. I've got to say, it's 14 minutes. Whether that's a real reflection with a calculation, I don't know. I mean, you decide that. But this is a realistic quick-fire FTP test. My FTP is 272. I'm feeling that I can beat it. I want to try and get to 275, which would be 3.7, 7.5, 3.75 watts a kilo, to give you an idea. 300 watts for me at 75 kilos is obviously 4 watts per kilo. That's the ultimate goal. You can see on the top graphic, it's really simple, 2 minutes 15 seconds gone. So I've a good 12 and a bit minutes to go, still averaging 328. Top left is my actual moving real-time wattage, and the aim was to try my best to stay about 315. I reckoned 312 watts average would get to 275 with the approximate calculations and what other people are saying. So I'm pretty tight here to the, it's not easy keeping it bang on 315 or whatever. So look, you can see me creeping to 330, and it's just really difficult to get it perfect, especially when you're blowing a gasket. 110 calories, top left, 2.3 miles. Well, ignore that. This is 1,000 feet. The climb itself. So you've got 40. You've 40. Blimey. My record is 1446. You're climbing 1,000 feet. That's the bottom line. You can see me approaching the blue bit, which you might have a little dip, -1, -2%. And I've got to say, this is one of the most difficult bits, because you are so wanting to have a break. It's just thinking the Zwift games, when you get on the descent, you want to break naturally, don't you, after a climb. Segment 4 on the floor there, nice and clear. I love the grade, I've got to say. It's simple. It says what it does what it says on the tin, really, doesn't it? It's just a test, a climb. It's you versus yourself, and I think that's a real pure climb. Yes, it's not a 40-minute FTP test, or it's not one of the tougher FTP tests on paper on Zwift, but needless to say, it's a 14-minute test, and the calculation kind of reflects that. And it's not, I've got to say, it's not too inaccurate. Anyway, coming up to completing 4.5 minutes, which that's a bit of a psychological breaker, because you look on the map, you think, oh, I'm 45-50% done at this point. But the reality is I've still 10 minutes to go. 10 minutes to go from this point, and that doesn't make it half and half. So there's a psychological issue there. Well, I certainly get beaten by that. So look, I'm still averaging, all three of my segments have been over 320 at least. But look, you see me paring back there to 180, 150. I did decide to have a little bit of a break here because tactically I could probably push harder on the final increment. I'm above the average of 312, so I'm on target. Here we go. Well, just coming up to the thing here. Well, 311. I'm there or thereabouts, and I can pick that up on the very last part of the course. I can stand up for the last half segment and really push it. So here we go. We start. Let me get back over 300 watts. I'm grimacing there because it's blooming painful. Anyone who's done an FTP test knows it's not. You're not messing about. Segment 6, there we go. Another marker complete. We're going to the deeper red zone here in a minute, which may be 9-10%. I can't remember. Ignore the mileage. Don't worry about that. We are halfway now, just over 500 feet. That's the key. And that time says that I'm ahead of schedule. Well, I'd expect that being 312 watts average. So I've got that back. We're bang on schedule here. It's just a matter of grinding this out. Easy to watch, easy on paper, easy for you, the viewer. Believe me, it's not easy. If you've done an FTP test, it's a blooming nightmare. Anyway, keeping above 300, but look, I'm struggling. No, I'm into the 320s there. 315, 322. So apart from the fourth segment, the fifth segment, 239. Yeah, you see, that's an issue. Coming to the seventh segment, that's good. I wasn't taking as many fluids on as I should have been. Mopping my brow. Look, I'm really struggling here. Ride on. Bit of encouragement. Approaching 600 feet. Approaching 60% complete. Look, this was it. Look what I did here. I didn't have it. Didn't have it. Lost the bottle. Just for a couple of minutes. Lost it in the mind. Not good enough. Look at me, watts average. You're tumbling down. It's too long. Look, you'd think I'd given up. I didn't give up. Someone gave me a ride on there, and that gave me just enough encouragement. I thought, no, I can do this. I can do this. This is what, it's all in the head. The grade is all in the head. Look, I'm approaching back up to 300 watts. Here we go again. Right, back on track. But what did I waste there? Really disappointed there. But again, you can't really assess it unless you're doing an FTP test. And this is what happened. It's in the mind. You know, my legs were probably good enough. I'm feeling good today. Right, I'm back on it. 305 watts average. Fortunately, I did the first 5 sections ahead of schedule, as I'd mentioned. 8 minutes 30. So that 90-day personal record, 1446. That gave me the 272 watts FTP. Approaching the 8th segment, here we go. So right, I'm back on it. 305 watts average. That's 5 more than I completed last time. And looking at the time, it's now up to 10%. So it's difficult to judge, but we've done 70%, just over 70%. I've got 5 minutes to go, 5.5 minutes to go. That's if I hit my PR. I'm dipping just below 300, but keeping above 3. There we go, that's better. It's a strong ride, this, it really is. But that blooming 100 metres where the middle section, not a problem. I was getting it back and I was ahead. But as I started segment 6, just giving up like that, that's so disappointing. Approaching 10 minutes, 304 watts average. Look, I'm just staying below, I'm back above 300 there. Ninth gear, grinding it out at just under 90 RPM. Right, the blue is there. I remember thinking that's a psychological huge positive. And if you look at the graphic on the right, look, we probably, your 4/5 there. Well, we're over 80% now. 809, 10, 11 feet. Time elapsed just over 10:30. 4 minutes to go, possibly. I'm really digging deep here. Believe me, I'm digging deep. 241 calories. It's up to 12%. Still in ninth gear. Pushing it to 90 RPM in a 2% higher than, it's now 10%. That shows how much I was grinding. The Canadian just walks past me there. Bison, brilliant. Obviously, a lot stronger than I am on this climb. Fair play. The blue is in sight. Probably 3 minutes there or thereabouts. 3 or 4 watts average. I'm still grinding at just under, between 85 and 90 RPM in ninth gear. That's going to be critical. You can see on the left I'm really struggling here. But I've just got to do this. Just find a way to do this for another 3 minutes. It's as simple as that. I was feeling a bit more confident here. You can actually see the finish. Look at the top right graphic. 2 more bends basically. 277 average. Look, here's the 10th segment, last segment. We come round this bend, you can see the finish. I'm really putting it in now. 331 watts. 304 watts average again. It just dipped to 303. There's got to be only 2 minutes left here. Grinding it out. I'm struggling to get to 300 watts. I've put it above there, but I'm struggling. It's about finding everything. It's just you and the bike. You're not drafting. There's nobody else going to affect your time. It's just you and that blooming bike and that gradient. It's as simple as that. We're up to 12% again. I'm staying in ninth. I can't afford to drop. Segment 6, average 327 watts. Really proud of that. Segment 7, 273. Not good enough. Here we go. Look, you can see the finish there. So I just get up off the saddle. Just put in a bit of a grind there. 303 watts average. It's not going to be enough for 275, but is it going to be a record? My record, 14:46. I'm 13:20 here. I'm going to beat this. I'm going to beat the time. Will it? Here we go. Estimated time, 13:49. Blimey, that's all minute ahead. Average 305 watts. Keep pushing. Stand up. Push. Estimated time 13:48. Come on, get up. Get up and stand up. It's bloody frustrating watching myself here. There we go. 305 watts average. Almost a minute off my time. Why is it 271 watts? Tell me that. Why have I not done 272? Almost a minute ahead of my time. Absolutely went for it there. Well, I've only myself to blame for not getting a 275. I've beat my best ever time by, let's say, 50 seconds conservatively. You tell me, what's happened there? I don't think I've changed. I mean, my weight's 76 kilos or 75. There's nothing in that, really. You tell me in the comments. If you've enjoyed that, like and subscribe. Zwift Games Stage 3. I'll see you soon. Thank you.